Well. My internet went out. That's fun for me. That usually never happens. I'm surprised that randomly happened. Out of all the times for that to happen, it was today. Wow. Huh. Are we good? Did I disconnect again? What's happening? So what now? I'm so mad the stream died. That is so annoying. I also don't want to play just like one. I don't want to play 1v1. I want to play with everybody. I don't like how it's like. Can you do more than one? I mean, in reality, there's no reason why, like, we should do the story. Like, there's that. I mean, I think you still get currency from this. Oh, you have to unlock that. Is it worth it? I don't really think so. I want to play with all 4 computers. We could do team battles like All Stars 2. What do you mean by weird? Quirky girl mini games. Oh wow. By the way, hi Red, happy to see ya. Hi Dylan, thank you also so much for resubscribing. Who should we play again? I'm just gonna do random. And stop. Pick Boo and Mario. Grand Anal? What the? Hi, Joe. Yeah, my stream disconnected. Sorry! Of course Mario gets a 10! I might be late, but I'm here. Totally fine, we're still here. See, and Bowser wasn't in the other mode. That's so weird. He just rolled 2 10s in a row. That's not even possible. No, I haven't, but I love that they're doing Mario Party streams. Every morning I wake up, I see Nem live at 2 a.m. and I break down. So true. I'm just on that. I'm on that Ligma. Okay. On the Ligma grind. A new Mario game to come out. I think they're gonna announce something at February's Direct. I think that's gonna be the big thing at their Direct. Big Dipper. Oh, Dripper. Like Big Dipper, the guy that does the podcast with Meatball. Connect the honey drips from the ceiling, but watch for swarms of killer bees. I do have Ligma. But what's over there? Do you see that? Under there? Move. I pushed Boo out of the way. Oh, what am I supposed to do? Oh, we all got gagged. What am I supposed to do to hide from the bees? Bees! Literally, what are we supposed to do? The way none of us got it. None of us read the controls. Oh, I gagged them. Eat. My shoulders are so large. I hate my body so much sometimes. It's weird because like when I look in the shower, like when I'm like about to take a shower and I look in the mirror naked, I'm like, wow, my body is so sexy and fierce. But like when I have clothes on with shoulders like this, I'm like, ew. Like, what is that about? If I roll a 1, I swear to God, if I roll a fucking 1, you are actually joking. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? That is so... I was literally that gagged me. Another day of being a Ligma. Oh. I was like, Denny, why did you message me? You're so weird. The pot is 40 coins! We just started! I like card games. I don't have notifications on any of the apps, though. Pick a card, any card. Oh. The player who picks the cards with the highest 3... Oh, the highest 3 cards is the winner. Oh, here's some advice. Card numbers range between 1 and 13. Watch the cards and hope you get lucky. Oh, this is a precursor of me going to Vegas this year. Feeling lucky? And if you're feeling frisky, anything that happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's a joke from Kimura Black on season 9. That clip of the Wario where Jenny had to Photoshop out my penis bulge in that clip. Jenny had to go tick by tick to Photoshop out my penis. This is the one. Yes. Yeah, look at Mario. He got a 12. This bro is a ligma. All right, I didn't get any commotion for the dress when I came back. Nobody said anything. No one made noise. He just got a 12 and a 13. See, this is what I would wear if I went out in Texas. Because if I went out in Texas in this outfit, don't you guys think that nobody would... I think everybody would do... I would probably get amazing compliments from some of the gentlemen that are probably trying to clock the tea girl. And I don't think they would... I don't think they would be mean to me. I think they'd be very nice. I think so. Especially with my bulge and the little bit of stomach fat that I have, I'm pretty sure they'd be very nice about it, especially to a trans woman. I think so. Isn't there a law in Texas that they can have guns in their car? Hello? I would literally get shotgunned. Sorry. Oh, wow. So what you're saying is next time I go to Texas, I can walk around with a pink Glock in my other hand and then a fucking shotgun behind me? Like, pretend it's a purse? What the fuck? Texas is not real. If Mario gets this fucking star, I swear on God himself, I will fight God myself. Oh, I should have. I wish I would have paid attention. Ooh, get gagged. It's the right one. It's the right one. Mm-hmm. I knew it. It's my turn. My turn. Finally, Jesus. Can I please view the board? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I can buy this because I have the money, honey. That emoji. Rah! The Lana Del Rey clip. I'm sorry, that guy literally just trying to fight us earlier and I literally just did not give a fuck. So funny. I'm sorry. Literally in my IDGAF era. So funny. Target tag. Hitting Bowser targets will take away your points. That's the advice here, everybody in the chat. Just listen to the advice, please, please. Fly into the floating targets and earn the points. I'm making sure I'm reading the rules for you guys so you can play at home. Okay? Get your controllers, your GameCube controllers. I know you all have. What is that? Oh, new follower. Wait, why is... Oh my god, my bot! My bot is fucked up because my internet went down. That is so annoying. Girl. Thank you for the follow, though. No, that was my GameCube noise. Oh, where are you going, Curtis? You gonna fall asleep? That's interesting, isn't it? Oh, I forgot I'm playing. Oh, big money. Me when I was like, I'm not gonna drink an energy drink today. Like, I'm gonna be so built different by not drinking energy drinks, like my mind. Meanwhile, here, me at 1 a.m., I'm like, yeah! Get up, Grandpa. Wake up! Oh, he got the star. What if we don't win? That will be so embarrassing if I lose. I think it's possible that I could get this. Maybe. Oh, big numbers. Come on, 10. Okay. Wait. Oh, for 3 turns. I was like, what? Why didn't it let me roll 3 times? Okay, so you have to go this way. Oh, no! It wouldn't have oh, she's gonna do the same thing. It wouldn't have mattered, because if I went the other way, I wouldn't have gotten to the star. See, she's about to get fucked. Fucking owned. Fortnite launchpad. When are we gonna play Fortnite together, Jenny? What is your problem? Just kidding. He's about to get it happen to him too. Oh no, he's good. Lucky little duck. No, I know you're busy. What the transphobia? Are they really gonna put me in a tank? They're gonna put my gay ass in a tank? Oh, you're a joke. The players in the small tanks must work together, or the big tank will crush them. One player drives a big tank, while the other 3 drive a smaller tank. Oh, God. So gross. Oh. Whoa! Finish. Literally a skill issue. The way they almost got me, though. They almost gagged me. I must say. Oh, it's almost Bowser Angie time. Is this gonna get me fucked again? I think this gets me screwed. This gets me screwed. 1, 2, 3. No, it doesn't. Oh, it does. What is this? Hello? I didn't ask for this. Well, I'm fucked. It's either I take the L again or I just do something else. Oh, I can land on a DK space. I'll take the L. Which one are we playing? I landed on the space, so everybody can fuck off. No! Literally, who told you, Donkey Kong? Okay, girl. What a waste of my time. I want a star. Hop on the barrels and roll over the bananas to collect them. Oh, and I will. Oh, and I will. That's a fact. Go. I want that one. Exactly. Guess who got it? This bitch. Move, Daisy. Finish. That was it? Girl, what? Okay. You get 1 coin for each banana. So they literally got like 2 coins while I got 17. Right, right. Can one of you losers go get the star? Why did she roll the oh. I thought that was like a small play spot. Wait, she's gonna screw herself. Oh no, she's good. Mic minigame. We don't do that around here. No, that's not allowed. Wait, stop. No, she's cheating. Yeah, that's what I thought. Be quiet. No, we can't use the microphones. Cheating. Okay, that was literally targeted at me. He literally could have threw it in front of Daisy, but didn't. What is their issue? Hello? Fun run. Oh, I'm ready to ride. I'm ready to ride. Is this the one in the... Yep. This one gets you so dizzy. Move carefully and avoid the hidden traps in the walls and the floor. Run for the finish line at the top of the tower. And I will. And I will. Go. Oh my god, I'm already so dizzy. Help. Somebody help me. This is literally a cry for help. I'm so dizzy. Stop! I'm literally gonna get motion sick. I die. I fucking die right now. Girl. Oh. I knew that was coming. Oh, the way Daisy said, not me. I will not get gagged. Wait, Daisy's gonna beat me. Daisy's literally gonna beat me. Oh! Oh my god, Daisy's gonna beat me. Boo's gonna beat me. Oh my god, this is a close call. Oh. Well, I cleared. New record. Her standing at the top of the stairs. Oh, the ratio changing? That's, my GameCube does that sometimes. It's kind of weird. I spilt some soda in it this one time. Yeah. What do you do? Oh. Oh, little family photo. A booze face. You should, Bowser, you should. It was Coke. I spilled Coke into my GameCube. And it wasn't wet. If you catch my drift. Girl. See, how is this? It's literally stacked for this guy. Literally this is Chris Pratt's fault. Fuck this guy. My controller just fell. That was Chris Pratt's fault. It's literally rigged. Okay, if I would have got that minigame, I would have been mad. But don't call me a man. And don't tell me to jump either. Who do you think you are? I would have been blocked. Mario, you are stupid. Jump over the barrels. It's not that hard. Right, right. Rigged. True, hashtag true. True that, oomphy. What the fuck? Oh, a hair is in my face, please. What is this? I would actually love to go on a gondola ride. You are so nice. What the fuck? There's a delay. Hello? Please. We're here. Oh, wow. Wait, I'm right where I need to be. Wait, I'm gonna go over that fucking booze space. How are we supposed to get to the star now? I don't think any of us can get to the star. I'm so serious. Oh, she can. Oh, she doesn't have coins. Oh, she got gagged. Another DK minigame? Oh my god. Aren't these supposed to be rare? Like, what is happening? Why did I get the multiplayer minigame? She's gonna get what if she wins? Yeah, give her that one. Call her a man. Sorry. Fuck her. If she wins this, I swear to God. Go. You better not. Donkey Kong, you better not fuck it up. Look, she's going so fast. She's hacking. She's literally hacking. Donkey Kong, go. Go, Donkey. Donkey Kong, speed up. Pick up the pace, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong. This is your mini game. You are on your home turf.
Oh yeah, I won.
Girl. What is that on my floor? This has all been one turn. The Bowser thing, the Mario, Donkey Kong, then my gondola ride, Daisy, Donkey Kong. That was all one turn. Girl. So she just got a star. Okay, not fair, just saying. Run around and collect the falling musical symbols. You must collect each one to win. Watch the shadows and predict where the symbols fall. Okay, noted. I will. Thank you so much. This one looks like it's based in Texas. Because they like gay people. They fly that pride flag high there. Finish. Did I win? I won. I won! Hoi, yo, 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 yo. Sorry, I keep yawning. Why did I use that? I'm about to get screwed over by Boost's little thing. It teleports you. Girl. Fuck you, Boo. Get out of my face. Give me something good. I mean, in reality, like, none of them would have made it over here in time, so I guess it was better for me to do that anyways to get it out of the way. Now Daisy has a star. Like, this is so annoying. I have minigame and coin star right now, and mystery happening star. If they still do those in this game. Girl. Fine, give me more. I'll win this. Exactly. What? Right. Fly the helipopper. The helipoppers? Oh, wow. We're flying the helipoppers. So do you have to get the ones of your color? Oh no, it doesn't matter. Who is shooting at us? The army? Oh, wow. Well, I have 19.
Finish.
I think I'm good. I have 100 coins. And guess who doesn't? Daisy. Yeah, fuck you, Daisy. And fuck you, Mario. You thought this was a rabbit, bitch. If I get a 3 or a 4, I swear to God, don't even. I hate this game. So much. Daisy! Fuck off, bro! Someone stop her. I can't. This is so... Yeah, they can hear me. I talk shit and what? That's what you get. I can't even hide my yawns, I'm sorry. Fuck! Sorry. Oh my god, no one cares about these coin mini games. Stop it.
Go.
Scared me. I was like, who's raiding? And thank you for the raid of 3. How you doing? How was the stream? I'm getting no coins. This is such a dumb mini game. Girl, please. Thinking about when we watched this, when we had the subathon, when this would play all night while I slept. Yeah. That scared me. Hi, Ivy. Thank you. Oh, the Toadette Bridge. I would love to relax, but this is cursed gameplay. I keep getting screwed. I don't care if you're having a sale. Please just let me buy. Oh yes, I love my queen. What is this on my floor right now? Oh. Thank you for the raid though, I appreciate it, Babs. I love that live stream, it's so good. I hope we just have a good subathon. I'm scared that the subathon's gonna flop. But I also thought that last time and it was pretty good. It's supposed to be the 27th. I'm not sure. I don't know yet. I'll have to figure it out tomorrow if I'm gonna have to reschedule it or not. La what? What? Oh, we're doing a 1v3. Do we just have to run away? I think we have to run away. Yeah, we just run away. Daisy, you're garbage. You're not gonna kill me. I didn't know if they landed directly on you, it would kill you. So... Finish. Thank you, say. I might have to... I'm just worried about... I just don't want to already reschedule it. Like, I'm scared that some people already have it in their calendars. I don't want to already reschedule it, but I might have to. But if I reschedule it... I don't know, guys. I'm so stressed about it, if I'm honest. Because, like, the first week from December 30th to January 9th is honestly probably one of the busiest weeks of my life. So... I don't want to reschedule it for, like, I don't know, middle of January. Like, damn. My favorite princess? Probably Peach. Down. Daisy close second. Rosalina third. Oh! Sorry. What? Now you exposing me. Well. Oh, double star? Double star in one turn? Wait. Gag. And that's how you clear. And that's how you get first place. That's literally how you gag. That was so lucky. Oh, I'm gonna land on Boo's thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's half my coins. Oh, fuck off. Well, you said that a couple seconds too early, Ava, because now I don't have many. So thank you. Oh, haha, haha. You got 2 1s, you fucking loser. A whoop-de-doo, you went from 18 coins to 28 coins, and now you gotta go back to start with Mario. Well, that put them closer to the star, actually, so, this is literally rigged for Mario. I'm just not so sure I understand why. Like, who is Mario? Like, who gives an F about that loser? Who sits down and plays Mario and they're like, I want to play Mario. I want to play as Mario. Does anybody? What the? Oh. Do you really, Red? I think you're lying. I think you're gaslighting. It's a 2v2? Girl. We won. Oh no, I have to be on a team with Mario? That's very interesting, isn't it? We won. We won. Penis. I forgot I have candy. Probably why I was so hyper. I had a sugar cookie and a chocolate. Ooh, this bag smells delicious. I was gonna say voluptuous, but I was like, how does a bag smell voluptuous? Like, what the fuck? I meant to say scrumptious, but I didn't. I prefer the old games. I wish they went back to this, but they won't because they hate us. Selfie, thank you for the follow. Oh, fuck off. Oh, get gagged. That was really cute, Ava. Do you fucking see this? I mean, my fucking cookie. So nasty. What? He's not wrong. A hit out of the sugar cookie gets like stuck in your like your gums. Like, bitch, get out of there. Girl, that's everybody's coins. Girl, my fucking god. Oh, we're using our Genshin gliders? Which one am I? Oh, I'm the blue one. Ah!
Finish.
Right.
Oh yeah, I won.
Well, they clearly haven't played Batman Arkham City because that was the strategy you would do in City. Just saying. It's fine. I don't need coins where I'm going. I don't. You should get one. Any ideas with what? Getting a Switch, what do you mean, what ideas? Have you looked into a Steam Deck? No, I know they exist, but I'm not really interested. Like, when I play those games that are on the Steam Deck, I like want to sit down and like play it on my PC. I don't want to be on the go. I wonder what the best. Oh, that's interesting. So true. Where's the star? I don't want to get... Oh, I don't have enough coins! Oh, I do. Thank God. That was almost bad. Oh no. Not over the bridge again. That is literally such an impossible spot. Oh my Jesus Christ. I definitely have the happening star. Let it be known. Oh, I like to clap. What if I was like, that was actually my ass cheeks? Thank you. I just saw your message, Ava. Thank you for the clip. Oh my, oh my God, fuck. I only asked for those clips because it played music, so the VOD's probably gonna delete the, or mute the Texas thing. Oh my god. What is he doing? Oh, switching spots. Oh my god. New minigame. Oh, I love this one. From the kitchen to the bedroom. Tonight's been a stream, huh? Jesus. This is literally just a skill issue. Damn, I was gonna be like, we do it first try. It's literally just a skill issue. That is one of my favorite mini games. I like that one. I like that one that you have to like, I think it's in this one too, that you have to push the... I wish when they made Mario Party Superstars and whatever, I wish they would have taken like a poll from everybody and voted on their favorite mini games of all time. Oh, nice. Come on, dude. Where's the star? I forgot. I just didn't even realize it was there. Oh, the star's over the bridge again. That's right. Oh my god. Is it gonna give me his coins? Only 10? Hammer Bro, do your job. Give me more. Take all of his coins. Oh, remember earlier when we were like, I don't think there's a game that's been in the last 2 or 3 years that I would play for the rest of my life? I lied. Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, I would play that for the rest of my life if I had to. But that was released on the Wii U, so it's kind of not 2 years. Whatever. This minigame ended friendships. Go. Mario, please. Mario, please. Mario, please!
Finish!
Coconut. Alright. I just walked back in, but there wasn't there. Yeah, there was. But like, if we're talking like, oh, it released. I don't think it released in the last 2 years. I think it was ported in the last 2 years, but I don't think it was released. I think it was released in like, it was a while ago. Girl, if Nintendo announced that, like a Captain Toad Treasure Tracker 2, I would get up. I would jump. Yes, give me more money.
Oh.
Cleared. The Toadette Bridge is working. The pyramid scheme is working. New mini game. Okay. Retweet. Girl, what is with all these racing mini games? Like, I can't. I don't like carts. I don't like driving. I really don't like driving. I'm a passenger princess. Let it be known.
Go.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. The controls are awful. But that's okay. Toadette floors it. Millie Bobby Brown. Millie Bobby Toadette. Toadette Bobby Brown. We're 2 turns away from the end. You got it. I got you.
Finish.
Speed run.
New record.
During the subathon. You're ruining my sleep schedule. I do that to a lot of people. It's because I'm so gorgeous, stunning, fabulous, talented, entertaining, all of the above. Excuse me. I calculated that. I calculated I was gonna get the 6. This is a... Oh. Girl, why even have the space do its thing? Like, just, like, move on. But I do need, after today's stream, I need to take a couple days break for my skincare, because this entire side of my face is coated in fucking, acne. So, wait, excuse me. She's being taken to the star? Not on my watch. I'm gonna push her off this bridge. Excuse me. Hey, that's not allowed. Hey, who let her do that?
Yeah, I got it.
Huh, that's very interesting. Oh. Well, I can go get that. Gagged.
Oh.
She literally just got wrecked. Oh, girl boss team, even though I hate Daisy's guts. Spider stomp. Marshall, look away. I actually love this minigame. The noise. Oh, we're about to gag, watch. Oh, get gagged, get gagged. Oh, look at that. We did that speedrun strats. Wait, watch this. Get gagged, get gagged, get gagged, get gagged. Daisy just shot me in the back of the head. What is your issue? Cleared. Ooh, get gagged. Watch this, watch this. Fuck you, Daisy, bitch! Ooh, I shot her. That's what you get for stealing my star. Daisy, go! Shoot them! Dumbass. Oh, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, Daisy, get him. You dumb bitch. Daisy, do something! Get out of my— you know what? You deserved that. You really deserve to be shot in the face. Honestly, you deserved it.
Finish.
Thanks. We won. No thanks to you, Daisy. Just saying.
Oh yeah, I'm a winner.
Gagged. Oh yeah, I won. Last turn. Oh! I guess it's over. I have 3 stars. I mean, come on. I mean, I would be embarrassed if I was this guy. And that's how you clear. Like, I have 90 coins and I had 100 earlier. So, where's my bonus star? Where's my holiday bonus? Yeah. Oh. There's no coin star? Well, that's me. I get the orbs. I got the orb star. That's me. Down. Yep. Exactly. Actually, that's me again. Clean sweep. That's me. I landed on a happening space like every spot. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I agree. I agree with you. I agree. Shopping star? Oh, I was shopping down. Oh, I was doing a shopping spree. Exactly, exactly. So guess who ended the game with 6 stars and didn't, Daisy? And that's how you kill her. Watch, watch, watch me come out in style.
Yay! I'm a superstar.
Exactly, literally exactly. And that's my mother. That's my mother right there. I mean, look at the stats. Like, I would be so embarrassed if I was Boo. Yeah, cry. Sorry. Can you tell I'm competitive? Giggles. Let's see, let's go see if we can get Birdo before we end the stream. Let's go see. Let's inspect. They're 1,000 each? Girl, what? Annoy mode is 500, so we can't get the Hey Stinky. Cheap, cheap fountain. Maddie needs that. What is it's so pricey in here. Jesus. Well. Well, I'm excited to play this again. Another stream. There's no mic inserted. That is definitely true. That is definitely true. But I think I'm gonna call it. I need to do some extensive skincare. I need to go rest. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting me during our little debacle earlier. If my skin supposedly heals like it should, I will be back on a normal schedule. Like in So not tomorrow, but the next day. But if it doesn't, then I'm taking the extra day to have my skin heal. Because when I tell you without this makeup off, I look like Two-Face without the makeup on this side of my face. It's bad. So I'm going to take tomorrow to work on my indie game. If you want to join Lost Saga, you can join Lost Saga. Go to my Discord for more information. I'm going to make a Discord. In my Discord, I'm going to make a little channel for everybody to get the installation process of how to get Lost Saga and how to play with me. So that could be fun. I'll make its own little category in my Discord. But that's my big project I'm working on. I'm working on all of the other developers. And we are going to do an event, and I'm going to live stream it the first week of January for Lost Saga, which should be fun because this will be your first time seeing Lost Saga and what I've been working on for the last month or two. Hi Lacroix, I love you. I'm ending stream. Besides that, subathon is on the 27th. All YouTube videos are uploaded to YouTube. Thank you all for being here and nice to me, especially tonight. I appreciate it. But I am going to go do that skincare and hopefully heal up because my face is fucked up and I am on borderline of getting impetigo again. So would really not like to go through another skin issue. That would be terrible for me. But thank you for being here. You're so welcome. 2 gold doubloons indeed. Is Trashly ending? I'm just gonna raid into wait, ladies live.
Hey, Stinky!
Oh. Okay. We're gonna raid Lady. Thank you all for being here. I will be back in a couple days, so thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting all the biddies, all the donations, everything. Thank you for being here. We'll play more Mario Party, and we'll decide if we want to do Elden Ring in 2023, like the first week. We're gonna do Twilight Princess, Bayonetta 2 for the subathon, and some more Mario Party and Mario Kart. So that's our schedule for the next like week or two or whatever. We'll play the fishing game too during the subathon, but I definitely need to take breaks because that really hurts my hands. But I'll see you guys later. Enjoy Lady, tell them I say I love them, and I'll see you later. Bye everybody.